Hey, new and returning besties, welcome and welcome back. We're making Biscoff Chocolate Chip Cookies inspired by one of the most highly rated NYC bakeries, Levain Bakery. But this is a twist. Biscoff, I have not found a copycat that includes Biscoff, and trust me, I have scoured the internet. So after finding the very best copycat, I have added that twist of Biscoff to the mix, and trust me, it is pure perfection. Be sure to stay to the end for all of the gooiness. Star of the show, Biscoff. Make sure you get creamy, and you're going to take 1 teaspoon for every cookie. Put it on a cookie sheet. I put 6 into the freezer to harden. Next, we're gonna cut up some butter. Cube the butter nice and cold. That's the trick for this bakery's cookies. All-purpose flour, 2 cups. To 1 1/4 cup of none other than cake flour. Once you add that cake flour, you're gonna go ahead and add some baking soda. You'll also add some baking powder and some salt. Sea salt or table salt will be just fine. The measurements will be in the description below, so go ahead and check those out. I cannot recall those from memory, but you want to make sure that you mix and incorporate all of your dry ingredients really well, and then remove the bowl. Go ahead and take that cube butter that you've let chill in the refrigerator and put it in your mixing bowl. I'm using a stand mixer, but you feel free to use a hand mixer and get that nice workout in. Okay, so the stand mixer had its work cut out for it. I had to kind of stop it a couple times. And once it gets halfway incorporated or halfway mushed, I don't know a different word, you're gonna go ahead and add in your brown sugar, 2/3 cup, and then 2/3 cup also of your white sugar. You can use granulated, that's what most of the copycat recipes call for, but I put a twist on mine and I use caster sugar. So that is a little trick, guys. Caster sugar makes your cookie nice, smooth, and not gritty. Levain Bakery uses dark chocolate chips. I'm not a huge dark chocolate chip fan, so I use mostly milk chocolate. So the recipe, typically most of the copycats call for 2 cups of dark chocolate chips. I used 1 3/4 cup of milk chocolate and 1/4 cup of dark chocolate. So, but feel free, of course, to use the traditional dark chocolate and just go to town. I like the mixture. Definitely a thicker cookie mix. It's not gonna be really ooey and smooth as you are making it. So definitely take the time out to release it from the mixer. And then once you've incorporated the butter and the sugars, you're going to go ahead and incorporate those dry ingredients nice and slow. Again, your stand is going to have its work cut out for it. So do it a favor and go slow. Do yourself a favor so it's not flying all over the place, and go slow. So once you have that all incorporated and into the mixer, it's gonna start to look kind of crumbly and it'll look like this. You will then add in 2 eggs. I added in 1 egg, and then remember that the copycat that I'm following said to mix the egg, so I went ahead and mixed the 2nd egg. I'm sure it was fine, I didn't panic. But when you pull up that stand, you see how thick that mix is. And again, it's not gonna be like ooey gooey. So I went ahead and just took off the attachment so that I could pull the mix out of it. But I just wanted to show you a close-up of what it looks like. It definitely looks kind of crumbly, very similar to the copycat that I used. And by the way, I used the Delish.com copycat. They have like, I think 2 million views here on YouTube. Very highly popular copycat for these cookies. So they use 6 ounces of the mix. If it ain't broke, don't fix. So I went ahead and took out my scale, and I'm measuring 6 ounces of this cookie dough. And then I'm going to pull my Biscoff drops, as I like to call them. The little tablespoons have been chilling in the freezer. I don't know if I said that before. I took those little tablespoons and put them in the freezer. So as you see, 6 ounces of my dough is on the scale. I split it into 2 pieces. So it doesn't have to be, completely even 3 and 3. Literally split it into half. You take a dollop, that drop of Biscoff out of the freezer, make a little hole, a little space for it within the cookie dough, nice and set it inside. And then you're just going to fold the edges of the cookie around the Biscoff mold. That's to keep it inside, so as the cookie bakes, the Biscoff doesn't run out, drip out, and then you just have a hot mess express. We don't want that. We want beautiful cookies that when you bite into them are yummy and gooey and ooey, but like so pretty. So once you've put the top on, go ahead and pinch the sides. Do not roll these into a ball. You want them to be irregular looking. You want them to be kind of clunky, not so pretty as you put them on the parchment paper. So once I added the Biscoff, the weight went from 6 ounces to around 6.7 ounces. Totally fine with that. I didn't measure the Biscoff teaspoons when I put them in the freezer. So you'll probably get around the same weight if you're using a teaspoon of Biscoff, but you can, go crazy and use 2. It's however much you want. Just make sure you seal in the sides. You see how that ball of dough is nice and irregular shaped, but you can't see the Biscoff, and that's really what you want. So this is gonna go now into the fridge overnight, or you can put it into the freezer for 90 minutes. I put mine into the fridge overnight because it was like after midnight and ain't nobody eating no cookies at 4 a.m. I mean, I guess you could, but I was tired, so no. Next day, I took them out of the fridge and we went ahead and put them on brand new parchment paper. Please get some new parchment paper because if you put it in the fridge or the freezer, it's gonna hold that moisture. Into the oven on 375 for about 20 to 26 minutes. My oven bakes hot, so I put it in for about 20 minutes. And voila, we have beautiful, beautiful cookies. Gorgeous. So I just want to show you the inside before I go ahead and dress it and make it look really pretty. As you can see, that Biscoff is shining through. So we have the dark chocolate, we have the milk chocolate, and we have the Biscoff. Just ooey gooey and oh so yummy. So time to dress. We have to make this look pretty. So I'm using my fork method. Go ahead and use a piping bag to make it nice and pretty if you like, but this is super easy. So once you melt some Biscoff and you go ahead and just kind of drizzle on top, you can take a cookie, take the room temperature Biscoff, put it on the back, and that's your glue. Voila! There is your Levain inspired chocolate chip Biscoff version cookie. And it is super heavy. I mean, you'll get a workout. Trust me, you will definitely get a workout, especially lifting that whole tray. Kudos to all of the bakers out there with those heavy duty NYC cookies. So we're not just gonna stand here and stare at this cookie all day long. It's time to eat. Let's go get Maddie and taste. And it was definitely well worth the search and the job. Hope you guys try it. Again, check the description for the exact recipe that I followed. And do me a favor, if you like videos like this, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and the notifications button so you always know when I upload all of these yummy, yummy recipes. Thanks again for watching. I enjoyed hanging out with you. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me, and let me know what other recipes you'd like to try. Until next time.